Hi, Abby. I wanted to get on and go over our last screencast for our online writers workshop. You have submitted your final week of revisions for poetry, and that concludes our time together. And so I'm going to do this screencast, and we'll go over a few things about how to publish your pieces and just some things to take with you. So here we go. I wanted to start by saying awesome job. You've done so amazing with this writer's workshop. From the very beginning, I noticed that you were a talented writer, and it's been amazing to just see you continue to grow over these last couple weeks. And so I wanted to talk about a few things that that I saw as a change in you over these couple of weeks. You added in some specific vocabulary and powerful word choice. And in the very beginning of the semester, you took a survey on a Google form of something that you wanted to work on. And this was one of those things that you wanted to work on your vocabulary and your word choice and make sure that those were really helping your pieces. And I think you've gotten to a point where you've been able to do that. And so, great job. I also wanted to talk about how you've been able to use Adobe Spark to enhance your writing pieces. And so for me, this was something brand new this year. I was not aware of Adobe Spark or even this kind of creation of different styles of writing in a digital format. But I think that it really does help to enhance certain pieces and certain genres. And I think that your thoughts also echoed that when you filled out the Google form a couple weeks ago. And then I just wanted to commend you and say you have been able to write some really engaging and thought-provoking pieces, and they were interesting for me to read, and I really enjoyed reading them. And so thank you for that, and I hope that you take that as an encouragement with you as you continue your writing journey. Here is your last revision for your poetry. I just wanted to talk about some things that I think worked really well for this poem. And so first, I love the pictures that you chose. I think that they go really well with what you're talking about in each stanza. So you're talking about the stars and the galaxy and everything that there is out there. And so this picture is perfect. Right here, you're talking about joy and emotion, and a heart with flowers is exactly that. Right here, you're talking about separation, differences, violence, war, disappointment, and you have this fire and this dark picture. And then at the very end, you talk about that there is so much more. There could be so much more. There's so much out there. There's so much we could be doing. And the picture that you chose is like seeds floating through the air. And there's so much out there for those seeds. They just have to get planted. And so I think that you really did such a great job with this to pull all of those pieces together. I think that it worked really well with your poem. And I think that you've done a great job with this overall. So here are some of my final thoughts for poetry. I wanted to ask you, how did you feel using Adobe Spark for this piece? I think that it worked really well, but you are the poet, and that's completely up to you. Do you like how it impacts your poem? Anytime you bring in something like pictures and color changes, and you had to move around some of the stylistic choices, it impacts your poem. And so do you like how Adobe Spark kind of impacted it in that way? And sometimes your answer will be no, and you want to go back to the previous way, and that's totally okay. But those are just some things for you to think about when using a digital format. Then I wanted to also leave you with that poetry allows the poet to take out those unnecessary filler words. The words that we need for everyday conversation and your typical writing genres. But for poetry, you don't need some of those extra words. And so Bobby Katz really summarized this point when in this quote where it says, "I know a poem is finished when I can't find another word to cut." And so a real staple of poetry is that it's succinct and it's powerful, and it's giving the power to those words, to the strong language, because there aren't as many of the filler words in between. And so as you continue on your writing journey and your poetic journey, that's just something to keep in the back of your head. And I hope that that is something that sticks with you as you continue writing. I also wanted to read a quick poem to you. It's by Amy Ludwig Vanderwater, and she is a teacher of poetry, a writer of poetry, and this is from her blog. And it says, "What is a poem? A poem is a present. You give it to yourself. Find one in a dusty book nestled on your shelf. Find one in a face of a person you don't know. Feel one on a windy day. Hear a poem blow. See a poem in a mouse. Watch a poem run. Smell a breakfast poem when the morning offers sun. You may think a poem is always made of words, but poems can be chocolate, poems can be birds. Poems can be secrets or shouts upon the air. A poem is a present hiding everywhere." And so I love this poem because it points out how there's inspiration for poetry literally everywhere. Anywhere you look, you see a mirror. There's a famous poem by Sylvia Plath, literally about a mirror, and she kind of personifies the mirror. As you look around your room, what is there? And then as you go about your day, there's just constant inspiration. And so maybe you keep a notes app on your phone to write down your inspirations, or maybe you have a notebook that you keep in your backpack as you go throughout your life and things inspire you. Because I know that you are a very powerful poet and you have taken some of your experiences to create your poetry. And so I thought that this poem was very fitting for you because I feel like you do this, that you find your inspiration in these various things and you turn it into something so powerful. And so I wanted to leave you with that poem. So now that you have revised your pieces and you have kind of your final products, where can you share your writing? I know that in the past you have shared your writing before, and I just still think that that's so amazing. But I wanted to give you some other areas where you could share your writing if you wanted to. And so the first one is Teen Ink. When you go right to that first link, right here you can submit your work. You click what type of work it is, and then you just follow those next few steps. Very simple. It's really laid out nicely so that you can upload some poetry or whatever else you wanted to upload. The next option, if you wanted to, is Stone Soup. Again, the submit button is right here to get you started. And then this is the Young Voices of New York. At the very bottom of this page, there are kind of the different sections of New York if you wanted to look through those and see what other students are posting. And then here is another one, and this is the Alliance for Young Artists and Writers. And as you look through here, there's all kinds of different pieces you can read, and you can sign up for your own account to submit some of your pieces if you would like. And then finally, there's this article from the New York Public Library that has 25 other writing contests that you can submit some writing pieces to if you would like to. And so those are some options if you would like to further publish your pieces. I am very proud of your writing, and I really have loved watching you grow in your writing over these last couple of weeks. And so I'm very confident in you submitting some of your writing if you also feel that you want to do that. And so I just wanted to congratulate you on that. And then congratulations, you have done a phenomenal job. It was so great to work with you and read your writing throughout these last couple of weeks. You have done a phenomenal job the entire time, and I'm proud of the progress that you've made. I hope that you continue to pursue your writing, and hopefully you get to submit some pieces to a couple of those different websites. And so if you need anything else from me, feel free to email me, comment, whatever you want to do. But it's been so nice to work with you, and it's been a pleasure to read your pieces. And so I hope you have an awesome rest of your school year, and don't let COVID get you down. Keep writing, and you're doing so great. Bye.